Oh, this is so not going to work.
Actually, it's not going on too bad at all.
But it's going to go, but it won't go because we'll get to the skirt.
That's so awkward. There's just something about a smooth running drawer. Like, do I sound crazy when I say that?
So before we jump into today's video, I want to quickly thank Skillshare for sponsoring a portion of today's video. So if you haven't heard about Skillshare before, it's like an online learning community where you can access thousands of like lessons and tutorials. And I've been giving it a try for the last couple of months and it is very, very cool. Like I'd heard about it online, but I'd never actually given it a go myself. And so naturally some of the tutorials that I was interested in trying out were in the like organization, lifestyle, productivity, craft kind of space. So one of the videos that I actually used as a bit of inspiration for today's video was Interior Design Decorate Like a Boss by Rose Sprinkle. And I actually used another one, Interior Design Basics, Simple Steps to Your Perfect Space by Lauren Cox. And I really enjoyed both of those lessons. They weren't too long, so it was something that I could do, you know, while the kids were coloring or running around outside or at school, in between tasks. So it was something that it really did fit into what I was getting done in the day. And I was able to take home a lot of different hints and tips about what I was watching. One of the more interesting points which came up in both of the videos was playing around with scale and proportion, which I haven't always tended to do when I have been decorating a room, but I have tried to be hyper conscious of in the last few rooms that I've decorated around the house. Basically what that means is messing around with scale and proportion, being aware of your space, how to fit each of your furniture and decor items so they sort of work together to expand the space and to create a whole vision as opposed to just having little pieces here and there or having blank spaces that are unfilled. I've really tried to keep that in mind when doing today's video, and you guys will see in a minute how I work with that in this wardrobe space. So I know Christmas is coming up and my kids are very, very keen to do crafts and things like that. So I think what we're gonna do next is check out some of the cool DIY videos and see what the kids can make as presents for some of our family members and some of our friends. You guys know me, I love making things because I feel like it tells a story and it has that much more meaning. So that might be a fun way for not only my kids to create something and then gift that to someone else, but also a great way for us to spend time as a family and learn something new together. So I'm very excited to do that. And if you guys are keen to check out Skillshare, then some of the topics you guys might be interested in if you watch my kinds of videos would be like the productivity. There's things on how to organize your day or how to organize your week, how to organize meals, how to do planners, that kind of thing. There's also tons and tons and tons on like home organization, home decorating. So basically what you're getting is access to these thousands and thousands of online classes and tutorials, and all you're having to pay is $10 a month with no ads. And the first 1,000 people who click the link in my description below are going to get a free trial of Skillshare Premium, so you can really get in and explore your creativity.
Good morning, everyone. So today's video, I apologize if the video quality is not great here. I brought my camera with me and I've just gone to turn it on and started filming, and I've realized that there's no SD card in there. So that lot of good that's going to do. So what's happening is I am redoing James's wardrobe. So the system that we had in there originally was just not our cup of tea. Like it wasn't working for us. And while I really love all the IKEA systems, it just wasn't working as well in that space. So I think we've come up with like a better way to lay it all out that's going to look a bit nicer. It's going to be a bit better for James, and it allows me to get a little bit creative with my time. So I'm just running into IKEA now. I want to check out this chest of drawers. I think it's called the Nordley. They're a really slimline sort of modular unit. So if you get it and you have it in a certain layout and then later down the track you decide it doesn't work for you or you want to move those drawers or whatever to another space in your house, you can always take it apart and put it together in different ways, which I really like. I like furniture pieces that are going to sort of grow with you. So I'm going to go and check them out and see you know, the runner style and everything, have a look at the size and see if it's gonna work. And while I'm here, I might grab a few drawer organizers and things like that just to complete the whole thing, because I really want it done this weekend so I can work on my next project, which is going to be our pantry, and I'm so bloody excited about. So yeah, I'm going to take you guys on the journey, and I hope you guys enjoy. Totally forgot to film while I was here, but the drawers are actually really good, so I'll show you guys when I'm home and they're all like assembled. But they have really nice runners and they're a great size, so I'm going to go ahead and get them. It's just I need to pick up all these pieces from. So that was a really productive IKEA trip. I got the chest of drawers and I'm super stoked with them, and I can't wait to get them home and put them together. And there's just something about a smooth running drawer. Like, do I sound crazy when I say that a smooth running drawer just makes me happy? And even though these are James's drawers, like, I'm still the one who puts all the clothes away and reorganizes the drawers and everything, so I still get that little bit of happiness out of it. And every time we walk into our room, like, I can walk past his wardrobe and be like, I did that looks fine. So I'm really excited to get it home and like put it all together and make it look the way I want it to look. Yes, I love new stuff.
We can go, so we'll do the long unit closest to the wall. We're going to have to butt it up against the wall. In fact, on it. Need to go and get a base. Because I'm all about that base. No, we need that thing off. Shake it, like I'm supposed to do. You can try, but it's gonna go, but it won't go because you'll get to the skirt. So do you want to take that part out, and then I'll just pop the drawers in.
All right, so what we're going to have to do is that these units are actually going to fit in here so well. So the last one isn't going to fit by a centimetre, and I knew that, and I wanted them to go across the entire wall. But it is going to mean on this side, I believe, we're just going to have to cut into this skirting board here, and then remove the piece so it can go right up against the wall, and then that way it will have like a built-in feel, so it'll be better. But it's going to mean that we can't exactly do that right now. But now I'm just going to pop in the drawers that I can pop in, and pop in James's clothes, and then that'll give me time to like sort of do the rest of the rails and everything. It's not a good idea to have my finger in under this right now, is it?
Maybe.
Maybe
they're too long. Maybe that's what it's trying to tell you.
Maybe I've got this on the wrong way. Okay, back at Bunnings again today. We're gonna go and get the last couple of things to finish off Daddy's wardrobe.
Yeah.
Ready, Arch?
Yes!
Let's do it. Is this stuff down here, guys?
Oh, wow. It's great.
Okay, so we've got, no, not this colour. This is a very nice colour though. It's got like the wood grain to it. That's like a washed out colour. No, this is like a dark chocolate colour. This colour. This is like a, here, pull the piece out. Okay, so how big is it? It is 2.4 meters by 1.2 meters. So it's really huge, and it's only $20. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to get this sheet, we're going to cut it down, and then we're going to use it on the top of the chest of drawers and on the front of the chest of drawers to make it look like it's got a big beechwood top. And then the other thing we need is some Tasmanian oak dowel, and I think we're going to get
really long.
this thickness. I think that's the 28, so almost 3 centimeters thick. So we don't want to use something that thin because we're going to use it as a clothing rail, and this one will bend too much. We want one that's going to be strong enough, like this arch, that's going to be able to hold all of Daddy's clothes. And it'll also be a perfect match for the other timber that we just had a look at, won't it? Yeah. Okay, let's get it. Okay, so the next step of this wardrobe is that I'm going to try and hang the rails. So I've got the dowel, which we bought from Bunnings the other day, and I've just had James cut it into 2 separate lengths. When I got him to cut it, in my mind, I was like, we got 3 meters, but actually we only got 2.4. So while I wanted to have the dowels like quite a difference in size, like I wanted to have one really long one and one really short one, hasn't worked out that way. But I guess the good news is that we could always change it later. But I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. Like, we've still got a bit of extra length and it's still going to be plenty of hanging space for James. And I wasn't 100% sure about the way that I wanted to hang this. I mean, really, it's just like the hanging part. It's not even a big deal, but in my mind, these are the kinds of things I overthink. But I end up deciding to go with a white, because white is like not going to steal the eye, or well, it's not going to draw the eye away or anything like that. And the way that I'm going to attach it, I think, is I'm going to drill a hole straight through the timber dowel. Then I'm going to feed the cord through and tie a knot, or tie a big knot, and maybe even secure it with a little bit of glue so it's really, really strong. And then have at the opposite end, I think I'm just going to tie a very simple knot by looping over like this and then pulling through like that. So that's quite a nice strong knot, and I'm going to use that to hook onto the hooks that are coming from the ceiling. And the hooks that I'm using, these ones are just from my local hardware store. I forgot what they're called. I'll have to insert the name for these. So what they do is that you drill a hole in your ceiling, and then you close these little suckers up and force it through the hole. And then once it goes through the hole, these will obviously expand, and it just creates a little bit more security on the fixing. So if you were to put a regular hook in the ceiling, obviously being drywall, it's not going to be as strong. It's not going to hold. Whereas these can take about 15 kilograms each, and we're not going to be using that much. So obviously 15 kilograms each, that's 30 kilograms per pole. James's clothes are not that heavy, whereas if you do feel like you have a heavier clothing, then you can just get larger hooks. So that's a really cool option if you have drywall and you're not sure if simply putting hooks in the ceiling is going to take the weight, which it's probably not going to. Get some of these. I think I'm actually going to paint this white, because obviously silver is going to stand out, and I want it to look very subtle. So I think I'm just going to take some of the ceiling paint and just paint over them, and then I'm going to insert it. Okay, so I'm literally using house paint now. I'm in the laundry, and I'm going to try and see if it goes on this thing. Like, obviously house paint is not made to paint wall hooks, so I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't really go on that well, but actually it's not going on too bad at all. Go house paint. Here, spin you around. I don't even need really to paint the wings of it, because they're going to be concealed in the ceiling. But I don't know, it never hurts to be a little bit thorough, right? So if you haven't ever done one of these before, I'll have to show you when I go and do it, but it is really, really easy to do. I think the hardest bit is actually drilling it into the ceiling, because if you're trying to watch what you're doing as you're doing it, all the drywall little bits tend to get in your eyes, unless you're smart and wear like goggles or something, which I never do. You YouTuber. There we go again. So I'm just going to let that dry, and I may just do one more coat, because there's a few brush strokes and things that you can see. Not that anyone, again, is going to notice, but it never hurts to be a little bit more thorough, does it? Okay. Next task. Okay, so apologies for the lighting. I've got the sun behind me, but this is sort of, I couldn't move any further out because of my
drill not being a cordless. So I'm going to try and drill a hole in this dowel, and I'm not loving my chances of it because I don't have great control over my drills at the best of times. So doing this, I don't know how it's going to go. I'm using a little, this is my box of drill bits here, and I'm just popping it underneath the dowel to try and hold it off the ground. And I guess we're just going to hold it. Oh God, wish me luck. No, that is not stable at all. Do I use my leg? Oh, this is so not going to work. Oh yeah, okay, this goes slow. That was easy. Okay, I've got my hole, but I just went slow with it. So if I can do it, you can totally do it too. The thing now is going to be lining it up, and as you can see, I'm eyeballing it, which is never ever a good idea, but I'm doing it. Perfect. Hi Dad, how you going?
Good. Sorry, Mr. Call. I left my phone in the car with the cash. Is measuring up some posts.
I was just giving you a quick call because I was wondering, I bought that veneer timber stuff over and I think I left some figures. I was just wondering if you still had them.
Yeah, I don't know. Where did you leave them?
I don't know. I thought I left them on.
Because I was going to ring you up about it, and
Yeah.
believe it or not, I thought about it today, but I can't
Yeah.
do it today because I haven't got my gear.
Yeah.
I'll do it during the week. I'll grab the gear.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was hoping to do that video like next week sort of thing. So
Yep.
if I could do that,
Yeah,
would
I
be
actually
awesome.
thought about that today and
Did
thinking,
ya?
oh, I haven't got gear.
Yeah. No, that's all right. Updating from a couple of days later, I have just arrived at my mum and dad's house because my dad has let me know that he cut the top, that timber veneer stuff that I bought from Bunnings the other day. And I've just arrived, and here it is. I don't know if I showed you guys up close before what this stuff looks like, but it has like a proper grain to it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see with the camera, but it's a really, really nice timber-like finish. My dad has actually cut it on a mitre. So you can see that he cut this on an angle, meaning that the two pieces will join together across the angle and you won't see the join, which is even better. So that's the front this is the front for the wardrobe, a really, really little piece here, and then one of these will be the tops. And then he's actually done me, because it was such a big piece of board, he's actually done a top and a drawer front. That's a drawer front for another part of the house. So I'm going to do a whole separate video on that. Anyway, I'm going to get these things into my car now and get them back home so we can start. Okay, so I've had to move some stuff around in the car, but we actually got it all in. It's going to be driving right up next to me when I'm driving back, but that's okay. At least I got it in and I can get it home. Okay, so I am back at home now, and I've just taken my drill with a nice chunky drill bit. It has to be, where's that little bit? Oh, right in front of me. I couldn't see because it was white. So I've taken the hook that we painted, and you want your drill bit to be sort of big enough that you're going to be able to get that through when it's like closed up. And then when it goes through the hole in the ceiling, then it's going to spring out and open up again, and then it's going to be stuck in the ceiling. Whoops, I don't want to forget this piece. So obviously the first step is going to be drilling the hole in the ceiling. I've already done the other three and put those all in. So this is my last one now. And then it's simply pushing this thing, closing the little wings, pushing it up, letting the wings open back out, and then, yeah, I can actually hang our dowels up. And then, yeah, like I feel like everything's starting to come together. Okay, Okay, I'm fairly sure this is not going to be the best angle, but there's only so much you can do. Okay. And I have to try and drill this so I'm not getting it in my eyes, which I tend to do every single time I do this. Okay, there's my hole. Ugh. This is gonna work. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, cool. Now that it's popped, I just have to twist it in so this becomes tight. And I think I'm gonna position the hook so it's facing the back. Next step, I am taking the macrame cord that I got. It's come completely unraveled. Whoops. And I'm just measuring out a couple of lengths. I think I'm going to go about 80 centimeters. So I've got my 80 centimeter piece, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do another one that length. I'm just going to fold it over at the end and pop a knot. Make it nice and tight so it's not coming undone. I may even put a little drop of like glue or something on there just to really secure it. And then do the same on the other side. That's my 2 little loops done. I've got more hanging on one side than the other, but that's okay because I'll like even it up on the ends. And then on the other end, I'm just going to take a little bit of sellotape and wrap it around the end to create like a point or to make it secure, I suppose. Then I'm taking the piece of dowel or one of the pieces of dowel and just threading that into the hole that I drilled. It is quite firm still because I made pretty small holes for the purpose of like making sure that it definitely wasn't going to come back through once I tied the knot at the bottom. Like I wanted it to be really tight and secure, but it just means that it takes a little bit to get it through. And once I've threaded it through, I feel like this is the hardest part, getting the tape off. Sellotape has a habit of, I'm always so bad at finding the ends of tape. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Like it seems like such a fairly simple, or should be a simple task. There we go. Okay, so then I'm just going to tie quite a firm little knot in the end, giving myself maybe like 2 or 3 centimeters left over at the end because I want to fray this out so it looks kind of cool. And then again, I'll probably put a few drops of glue on that knot just to make it a bit stronger and pull it back. And that is the first, whatever it's called. So I'm going to go and do this on the other side and then just make sure they're even, and then I can hang these babies up. Okay, and that is the other one. They both, when I measure from, don't know if I can get this on the shot, but when I measure from the top of the loop down to where it joins into the dowel here, it's exactly 56 centimeters on both this rod and on this rod. So, see, it's all hanging. So now I can go and hang these up and know that they're going to all hang evenly. Oh, cross fingers, unless I've done something really wrong. But anyway, let's do it. Yay! Okay, so this one is the longer one. Ugh. There we go. And this one. That's awkward. Okay. Gotcha. And there are my hanging rails. I'm pretty happy with how they're looking so far, actually.
So you can see that we've got quite a bit of blank space on this side of the cupboard. So I want to jazz it up with like maybe a mirror or a vase or some books or some textiles and things, just to make it look a little bit more full and a little bit more decorated. Even though that's not the purpose of a wardrobe, I still want to go there. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there today rather than grab all of James's clothes and hang them back up. I think I'll do that at the very end once all the other decor and everything is in there. I'm still going to have to like vacuum from when I was drilling, and there'll just be a little bit of cleanup involved. So it's probably better that I just save the clothes bit till the end. But yeah, I think the next step is going to be putting this veneer on the top of the drawers, but I'm going to need to get a particular type of glue for that. So I'm going to run out tomorrow and I will touch base with you guys then. Okay, so it's the next day and I'm just in Bunnings. I've just found some glue. This is, my dad told me to get the Quick Grip with the K. There are a few different like types of it, but I feel like this was the biggest one and cheapest one, so that's why I'm getting it. But hopefully that bonds it in the way that we want it to. It's so awkward vlogging in a shop when there's like, Bunnings is terrible. There's so many like people around. So I just realized I had my camera on slow mode when I was filming that, but basically I've just put the glue onto the veneer timber that we got and made sure to use a card to sort of smooth it all out so the glue wasn't raised up off of the unit, because obviously that's going to mean that the veneer is going to sit on top of the glue. So we want to flatten it out to make sure it's nice and flush, and then lining up the edges of the top panel along with the front panel so those corners came out nice and smooth. And you guys will see in the footage that my corners lined up really, really nicely. One tip though, if you are doing it and you're using that particular glue, is make sure you open a window, because I wasn't feeling dizzy, but I was feeling a little bit unwell. The smell is really quite strong. So make sure to protect yourself by wearing a mask and opening up a window, which I have now done. Anyway, so I've gone and popped all of the clothes back in and I'm feeling like it's actually really coming together now. But before I show you guys the room as a whole, I'm going to go and throw in a few more decor items just to fill the space. Like I said, we do have that really bare space on the corner as you just walk into the wardrobe. So I'm going to fill that up with a few little bits and bobs and just brighten the space up a little bit.
And don't you stop the music, get into it, won't you dance with me? Find a place and lose it, you can do it, won't you dance with me? Move your feet and feel it in the space between. You gotta give yourself a moment, let your body be.
And that is the final product. It's sort of a bit of an awkward angle to be able to show you guys, so I'll do my best to show you all of the details. We have filled the space over here just by adding a few accents into the corner, a mirror which James will have to bend down to use, but I don't know if he'll quite use it that often. It's really just there to sort of accent the room, open up the space a little bit more, and you know, it's there if he needs it when he's buttoning up, putting on a tie, like it all, you know, doesn't go astray. And then we've got all of James's shirts here. And then over here, we've just got a couple of pairs of his work pants. And then I've got the bigger pants down here, all Marie Kondo'd up. We're missing a few pairs at the moment because James is currently packing for a work trip. I'm quite happy with how all of the drawers keep all of his clothes nice and neat. They're a really, really good size. As you can see, his pairs of pants, long pants, fit all perfectly. And then the short pants, and then the same with all of the shirts and belts and everything as well in the rest of the drawers. Alright everyone, so I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. I do suspect it's going to be another pretty long one, so if you've gotten to this point in the video, thank you so much for sticking around. It's been a journey, but we got there in the end, and I'm actually really, really excited for the next video I have coming up. I'm going to redo my pantry, and trust me, it's going to be like no pantry makeover I've ever done before. So stay tuned for that one. It should be up in the next couple of weeks. If you guys are keen to see more of these kinds of videos, then be sure to let me know. If you're keen to try videos like these, then why don't you give it a go? And you can start off by going and checking out Skillshare. So make sure to follow that link down below and you can go and make use of that free trial. Anyway, thanks again for watching and I'll catch you guys all next time. Bye.
Downtown we let it go. Sunset high and our bodies low. Blood rush in a hazy glow. My head still bones. Loose up, we break the scene. One step deep as you fall to me. Hot, hot, that we skip a beat. Count